Hi guys, welcome to AVKS Academy. So today we'll start with the case of your general science part. So in the case of your general science, we'll be discussing with the case of your physics as well as chemistry. So personally talking about me, my name is Sudhir and I'll be handling the physics as well as the chemistry part. Right? So I have been teaching for all these particular competitive examinations, mainly for the case of your CAPF for the past 5 years. At the same time, I have been teaching for the competitive examination for around a decade, almost for 10 years. Right? So now we'll move on to the case of your the physical science part. So when I'm talking about the case of your physical science part, so especially for the CAPF examination, right? The topics that we need to focus, in the case of your physical science. So we have got different topics. One is the case of your mechanics. The second topic here, that is the case of your sound. At the same time, the case of your light, then electricity, at the same time heat, magnetism. So apart from these things, we have got one more unit, that is the case of your modern physics. So these are the topics that we need to focus in the case of your physical science, especially the case of your physics part. So we need to start with mechanics, sound, light, electricity, heat, magnetism, as well as the case of your modern physics. Almost around 6 to 7 topics that we need to focus. So when I'm talking about these particular topics from the examination point of view, so any topic that we are focusing or any topic that we are discussing, we need to focus that particular topic especially based on the application point of view, right? We need to focus on this particular thing, the application point of view. We need to focus purely on the application. At the same time, you need to focus on the case of your concept, applications, at the same time the concepts. So we need not bother about the case of your equations or as the case of your formulas or as the case of your definitions. But yes, we need to focus on the essence of that particular statement, the essence of the different definitions that we come across in the case of your physics. We need to focus on that particular thing. How these particular things, how light or sound or electricity or heat or magnetism, how these things we are using in our day-to-day life. What is the application? What are the different applications of these things in our day-to-day life? Now, when you talk about the case of your some of the previous questions that were asked in the case of your CAPF examination, or else the UPSC standard, or else any particular competitive examination, right? So all the questions that are related to this particular competitive level, or as the case of a CAPF, or mainly for UPSC point of view, if you focus, the questions are purely based on application, right? So before going into the syllabus, we'll just try to have a quick look at some of the previous questions, right? In what way the questions are being focused, especially the topics on which you need to focus. Now, suppose that, for example, the moment I'm talking about the case of your mechanics. Now, when talking about the case of mechanics is generally more application point of view, we can say, more application oriented. When I'm talking about the case of your mechanics in simple terms, we need to say, I say, you need to focus on the class 11 textbooks, or as the case of intermediate first year, or as the case of your class 11 textbooks. Right? Almost the complete intermediate textbook, intermediate syllabus is there in the case of your mechanics. It's a very broad topic. It's a very big topic. Right? So here in the case of your mechanics, when I'm talking about the case of your mechanics, we'll start with the case of your scalars and vectors. What is a scalar? What is a vector quantity? We need to start with the scalars and vectors. And well before scalars and vectors, we need to discuss even what are units. the units of physical quantities, the quantities that we are using in our day-to-day life. Suppose that if I say pressure, what are the units for pressure? The units for the case of your stress, strain, or else you come across some terms in the case of your electricity or magnetism, like the case of your relative permittivity, relative permeability. Right? So we need to have a complete idea about all this, but all the units of all these particular physical quantities. Right? Then followed by the case of your scalars and vectors. Then we need to focus on the case of your kinematics. Sometimes we are even getting some problems based on kinematics also. Some simple problems which are based on kinematics. The laws of motion. You're talking about the case of an object which is projected upwards, an object which is freely falling. That is, so the equations which are related to those particular objects, right? That is what we call it as equations of motion. How an object is moving on a linear path. Suppose that an object is starting at this particular point. You have got one more object. You have got after a certain amount of time, the object reaches the point B. Starting at point A, it is reaching the point B after some amount of time. So when the object is moving from point A to point B, what are the parameters that keep on changing? Whether the velocity is changing, whether the acceleration is changing, right? So we need to focus on that things. So when talking about the case of your mechanics, we even talk about the case of your work, the work done. Now suppose that if at all I have got a person here, right? Or else you take the case of a table. On a table you are having an object at the point A. Now this particular object you are lifting from the ground. The moment you are lifting this particular object from the table to a height, right? So you are lifting the object to point A. The moment you are lifting the object from this particular point to the point B, from point A to point B, then we are doing some amount of work. But the work done by us in lifting this particular object from the table or from the ground, it could be a positive work, or we need to find out whether it is a positive work or else whether it is a negative work. That is what we need to find out. The work done can be positive, the work done can be negative, the work done can be even equal to 0 also. Depending upon the situation, depending on the context, the work done can be positive, negative, or it could be even 0 also. Or it could be even 0 also. So we need to calculate what is the work done here. We need to find out what is the work done, a positive one, negative one, or else a 0 one. At the same time, suppose that if at all you are moving in a circular path. You are moving in a circular path. The moment you are moving in a circular path, this is one of the previous questions. One of the previous questions. So when you are moving in a circular path, what is the distance that is covered? At the same time, what is the displacement? So I'll always remember, as long as you are moving in a circular path, the displacement is always equal to 0. Since the starting point and ending point both are same. That is the reason why the displacement will be always equal to 0. But wherein the distance value will never be equal to 0. Right? So in a circular path, the distance covered will be always equal to 2 pi r. But wherein displacement will be always equal to 0. But wherein displacement will be always equal to 0 in this particular case. At the same time, you talk about one thing called as your center of gravity. So when I'm talking about the case of your center of gravity, now we know that each and every object, irrespective of its shape, the complete weight of the object will be concentrated at one particular point. Suppose that if at all, I'm talking about the case of a particular person whom we call it as sprinter. Now this is one of the previous questions wherein it was asked, where does the center of gravity for a sprinter lie? Where does the center of gravity for a sprinter lie? This is one of the previous questions. Now when talking about the center of gravity for a sprinter, so for example, I'm talking about the case of your Usain Bolt, or else I'm talking about the case of your Hima Das, the sprinters. Now as long as these particular persons are sprinting, the center of gravity for these particular persons, it will be always lying before the legs. the center of gravity for this particular person will be always lying before the legs, as long as these particular persons are sprinting. But for a common man, an ordinary person, the center of gravity for a common man, as long as he is walking or running, it will be always lying between the legs at this particular point. The center of gravity for this particular person will be always lying between the legs. So here we are saying that we need to focus and we need not discuss, we need not learn, or you need not to memorize what we mean by center of gravity. But the application of this particular center of gravity in our day-to-day life, where we are applying it, how we are applying it, that is more important. That is more important. Then suppose that if at all I am talking about the case of your capillary, the phenomena of capillarity. Right now we all know that you talk about the case of your fountain pens. Now we all know water fountain pens. These particular fountain pens, they work on the principle of capillarity. Fountain pens work on the principle of capillarity. But what is capillarity? The rise and fall of a liquid, the rise as well as fall of a liquid in a tube, that is known as capillarity. Now when you are taking the case of a particular beaker, suppose that this is a beaker which is consisting of water, Now in this particular beaker which is consisting of water, you are placing a capillary tube like this. The moment you are placing the capillary tube, the level of water in the capillary tube starts increasing. Now this particular increase will be more with respect to the surroundings in the beaker. So with respect to the level of water in the surroundings, the level of water in the capillary tube will be high. So here the previous question is, what is the shape of the meniscus? Now this is one of the previous questions asked by UPSC. Right? The shape of meniscus. Now what is this meniscus? The top surface, this is what you are calling it as meniscus. So when you are placing a capillary tube in a beaker which is consisting of water, this particular capillary tube will be having a surface like this. The moment you are placing the same capillary tube in a beaker which is consisting of mercury, suppose that this is all mercury, completely filled with mercury, then in this particular case, the level of mercury will be less with respect to surroundings. But wherein, right, the shape of this one will be somewhat like this. You are talking about the shape something like this. Now this is what we are talking about, whether the shape is like this or like this, why it is so, it could be. Now I am not giving the answer for this one. Right? What is the shape? Maybe like this or maybe like this, or maybe like this or maybe like this here. Now why it is so, we'll discuss that. Now here in this particular case you are talking about capillarity. So we simply say the absorption of water by the roots of a plant is because of capillarity. Number of examples we give here, right? So based on all these particular things, we just keep on moving. In simple terms, we need to talk about the case of applications as well as the case of your concept oriented. Now you talk about the case of your light, you talk about the case of your sound. Now suppose that if I say, the moment I am placing a stick in water, it appears to be bent. A stick which is placed in water, now this is the case of your water. The moment you are placing a stick in water, it appears to be bent like this. But the question is, this particular bending of stick, is it towards the normal or away from the normal? That is what we need to discuss here. Now we say that it is because of refraction, that's well and good. But the bending of this particular stick, is it towards the normal or is it away from the normal? That is what we need to focus. Now, for our particular examination point of view, for CABF examination point of view, the questions that we are getting from the case of your science, especially the case of your physics as well as chemistry, so we need to work a lot based on the application things. right? Or else you can even say the in-depth analysis of a particular thing, in-depth analysis of a particular subject. And that particular in-depth analysis is purely related only to the application things, application point of view, right? So you're saying here, a stick is bending. Now we all know that the stick which is present in water, it appears to be bent. But this particular bending, now what we need to focus is that this particular bending, is it towards the normal or away from the normal? That is what we need to focus here. That is what we need to focus. At the same time, suppose that I'm talking about the case of your polarization. So in the case of your polarization, right, we say that the splitting of light into electrical component and magnetic component, right, generally the electric field as well as magnetic field both are always perpendicular to one another. Generally, the electric field as well as magnetic field both are always perpendicular to one another. That is in the case of your electromagnetic waves. Now the question is, why sound waves are not able to propagate on the surface of moon? On the surface of moon, why the sound waves are not able to propagate? The simple reason that we say that is that sound waves cannot propagate through vacuum, right? Why sound waves cannot propagate through vacuum? That is what is required. That is what is required here. Why sound waves are not able to propagate through vacuum? We need to focus on that. At the same time, we are talking about the different types of waves. Now, when you're talking about the case of your waves, these particular waves, we classify them into different categories. We classify them into the case of your mechanical waves, or else we even call them as the case of your electromagnetic waves, mechanical as well as electromagnetic waves. Where we are using up electromagnetic waves in our day-to-day life, that is what we need to know. And the case of mechanical waves, you further classify them into progressive, stationary waves. Examples of stationary waves are important. Progressive waves, you further classify them into longitudinal waves as well as transverse waves. Examples of longitudinal, examples of transverse, that is what we need to focus. At the same time, right, now here in this particular case, we need to even focus on what is the quality of a sound, where we are using beats in our day-to-day life. What do you mean by quality? What do you mean by beats? At the same time, the difference, you need to talk about what do you mean by resonance, or else we need to talk what is reverberation. What is the difference between reverberation as well as one more term called as echo? Right? When do we say that a particular sound is an reverberation? When do we say that a particular sound is echo? Now, these are all the things that we just keep on moving, that we just keep on discussing. Now, apart from all these particular things, if at all you observe the case of your recent paper, the one that was conducted in the case of your 2020 December. Now, apart from the routine scenario, apart from the routine topics, we have found some questions which were based on de Broglie hypothesis. So generally this particular thing, de Broglie hypothesis, we do not discuss them for any particular competitive examination point of view. Whether it is for the case of your UPSC examination, or whether it is for the case of your CAPF, or else for any particular SSC, generally we do not go to such particular depth. But unfortunately, this particular year, the CAPF AC examination, we had some questions which are based on even the de Broglie hypothesis. That is what you call the dual nature of matter. What do you mean by this particular dual nature of matter? Right? You need to discuss what is the Bose-Einstein statistics. Right? That is what, and in simple terms, we say we need to study physics, study the case of your chemistry, more subject oriented, or else you can even say more in-depth analysis of these particular subjects. Now, suppose for example, one of the previous questions that was asked in UPSC in case of your chemistry, right? So even in the chemistry also, the questions that are coming, mostly they are based on your day-to-day life. One of the previous questions, right? The breath analyzer. Now we all know this particular device, we all have seen this particular device which is used by the police personnel, breath analyzers. The question was very simple. What is a chemical that is used in the case of your breath analyzer? Chemical that is used in breath analyzer. Right. Now, whenever you are blowing some air into this particular device, which you are calling it as a breath analyzer, if a person has consumed alcohol, then the light will start blinking. At the same time, you'll be getting some alarm on them, alarm from that particular device. If a person hasn't taken alcohol, and the moment he is blowing air into that one, you find no change in that. The moment you are blowing some alcohol vapors, or the moment you are blowing some air which is consisting of alcohol, then in that particular case, it is generating certain amount of sound, at the same time certain amount of beep also, like the flashlight coming out of it. So what is the reason behind it? What is the chemical that we are using in that particular thing? That is what we need to focus. Right? So you don't find this particular thing, the case of your breath analyzer, in any of the textbooks up to your 10th or intermediate standard. You don't find this particular thing. Right? At the same time, we're talking about one more thing called as your eye lens. Now, as of now, we are talking about the case of your contact lenses. The polymer that is used in the making of this particular contact lenses. What is a polymer? Generally, the case of your this particular thing called as your eye lens or contact lens, it almost looks like a white rubber-like material, white transparent rubber-like material. So, what is that particular white transparent material made of? What is that particular transparent material made of? That is what we need to focus. At the same time, the chemical that is present in each and every particular toothpaste that we are using. Now, whether we are using the case of your Colgate, or else whether you are using a Pepsodent, or else anybody else, right? Now, we all know that the toothpaste that we are having is having certain amount of salt, right? The toothpaste that we are using, we are having some amount of namak in that, at the same time koila in that one, namak, at the same time coal, as well as some small amount of your even salt in that one. But basically, what is the chemical that is present in it? That is what we need to focus. At the same time, the acidity in stomach. Now, sometimes if at all you have consumed more than what you are supposed to have, you are going for a marriage, you are going for a function, and the moment you see something around 40 or 50 odd dishes, we will not be in a position to control ourselves. And then when you start consuming more than what you are supposed to have, after 2 hours or 3 hours, then we start having acidity. Now, what is the reason for acidity? And how to minimize that particular acidity? We need to see that. The different chemicals that we are using in our day-to-day life. So, whenever you are consuming a tomato, whenever you are consuming apple, whenever you are consuming watermelon, you are having certain amount of, you are consuming certain amount of acids. So, what are those particular acids we need to find out? So, when you're talking about the case of your chemistry, we need to focus more on the case of your day-to-day applications. The different types of chemicals that we are using in our day-to-day life applications. When I say a patient who is on a hospital bed, for him, when the moment you are giving oxygen, you give him a combination of oxygen and helium. Earlier, we used to give him a combination of oxygen as well as nitrogen. But as of now, we are giving oxygen and helium. Why we are not using oxygen and nitrogen? Why are we using oxygen and helium now? Right, we need to find out the difference. We need to find out the difference for that reason. Why we are using only the combination of oxygen and helium, but not other combinations. And at the same time, if you are inhaling carbon monoxide, now generally we say that carbon monoxide is very, very dangerous. And this particular carbon monoxide, it is one of the resultant of this particular outcomes of this particular industrial pollution. The vehicular pollution, you are getting carbon monoxide. So, if at all carbon monoxide levels are increasing, and if at all you are inhaling more amount of carbon monoxide, then what is the result? Why it is happening so? That is what we need to see. You are talking about the case of your different types of chemicals that you are using. You are talking about the case of your gunpowder. Whenever you are cutting some onions, you are getting tears in the eyes. It is because of what? You are talking about the case of your chlorine gas. You are talking about the case of your different forms of sulfur. Right, all these particular things, all these particular chemicals, we are using them in our day-to-day life, and we need to focus on their applications. They need to focus on their applications. So, in simple terms, I say that, so as long as you are talking about the case of your physics and chemistry for your CAPF point of view, we need to focus more on applications. more on concepts. Rather than formulas and equations, we need to focus on applications. Subject, that is what. In simple terms, you need to learn more amount of subject. Right? So, we will starting with the case of your mechanics, the very first thing. First, with the case of your physical science, the very first thing that we start with is the case of your mechanics. Right? So, we'll start with the case of your mechanics, and in that case of your mechanics, we'll start with units, the very first one. Right? So, that is in the next videos. Right? So, please keep watching the videos. At the same time, just keep on following the videos. And at any particular point of time, you have got any particular doubt regarding any particular thing, you can please raise a query in your app. Right? So regarding that particular queries, you'll be getting the answers very soon. Right? Thank you.